Hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar where we embark on a journey of efficiency, collaboration, and innovation in the IT landscape. I'm Deeksha, host of today's session, and my co-host Naman is also here. Hi Naman, how are you?
Hey, hi, Diksha. How are you doing? How's everything?
Well, I'm doing great. What about you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm super excited for this session. I am sure that students who have joined us here, they are also equally excited, just like me. Okay, can we just ask this in the chat and see how many of them are excited to go through the process and some of the tips which are very important for everyone. Let's see like who is interested or not. Can we?
Sure, definitely. So everyone, please let us know in the chat box. Are you ready for today's webinar session? This comprehensive session is designed to equip you with the skills, knowledge, and confidence you need to ace your interviews and land your dream job in the competitive IT industry. So, throughout the webinar, you'll have the opportunity to hear from our industry expert, gain new perspectives to ensure that you will leave this webinar with a deeper understanding. And also, I encourage you to actively participate, everyone. Please ask questions and feel free to drop your queries in the chat box. So, yeah. So, may I know the chat box from our audience that from which part of the country you all have joined? Please let us know in the chat box.
Guys, we need the 100% participation in this session because it really excites us and also it makes us engaged. So make sure that your chat window is open on the right hand side or left hand side, and make sure that you are also feeling to be part of this session. It's not just me and Diksha who will be communicating throughout the session. It has to be me, you, all of you guys communicating with each other. There's a lot of buzz happening in the chat box. That really helps us to see that the audience who have joined, they are someone who is very interested to listen to us. And honestly, trust me, like we have something very interesting today for everyone, because I know one thing: people, like hundreds of people who have joined this right today, they are coming with an intention, and that is to land a job. Am I right, Diksha? Why are we here? Are we here with on that we are on a mission right now? Isn't it? Are we on a mission or not?
Definitely. I agree with you.
Okay, great. So I think Diksha, we can get started, with the session, and let's see, uh, let's see that how it goes. So I think we all are here. So many students have already joined. So let's get started. Yep.
Sure. So without further ado, let's start with today's webinar. Okay. So I must tell you to all the Think Loudly family that here in our audience, we're having a person with the name of Mr. John.
Oh yeah. So I think Mr. John, like let's imagine that there is someone in the audience and his name is Mr. John, and he is thinking something, okay, and he's thinking that why am I here. This is the very important question that I think, just like John, every one of you has this question in the mind. Okay, so guys, who all think that you also have the same question, that why am I here? Diksha, do you have this question, that why are you here today?
Well, I guess we should ask this question from our audience. I know that they must be wondering about this, that what's the thing that we're going to talk about in today's webinar?
Okay, so guys, can you just tell us like why are we here? I mean, can you just tell John, because he's the one who is confused. Diksha and I know what's gonna happen in this session, but what about all of you? Like, why? What do you think? Why are we here? And can you just help Mr. John, because he's confused. You can look at his picture. He's so confused. Like, why are we here? So Sahil has responded that he's here to learn something. What about others? Do you guys know why are we here, everyone? I think Diksha, some of the people are here for webinar offer, or maybe to win the quiz. Okay, so how many of you are here to win the quiz in the end, or are you here to learn something? Okay, I think there is a lot of responses we are receiving, and people are saying that okay, Victor is here for webinar discount. Some people are here to land a job. Very nice. This is a spirit, Johns, that we need to land a job. That's it. This is something what we have to aim for. But yes, we are here to know the process. We are here to master every interview and find the job. So there's a guy who is saying, Obioro, that learn how to ace IT interviews. Yes, learn how to get the job, get the dream job. Correct. So there are so many aspirants today. We have Diksha in our audience, and I think we should get started. Okay, let's get started. And I think we have answered Mr. John that we are here to master interview and get the job.
Okay, so all right. I asked everyone, a lot of people are more study about the today's agenda that in webinar session, what we're gonna cover today. So first, we're gonna let you know about the brief introduction about Think Loudly, that what we are basically about, and then we're gonna invite our guest who'll be sharing his valuable insights with you and also his experience, and then we'll be having our webinar offer, and after that, we'll be having the main thing of this webinar, in which we'll be discussing about the trips and a lot of knowledge and a lot of things about the interview preparation, a lot of tips. And at last, we'll be having our quiz and FAQs.
Great. So I think the agenda looks great. And let's get started. Okay. Diksha, we have to follow our tradition. Whenever we start the session, with a small game, and I think it will be a quick game. So who wants to participate in this game? Guess the word. Who all are here? Who is ready to participate in this game? Only Sylvester? What about others? So we
Yes,
have Sheila,
everyone. Please let us in the chat box, because
Bobby.
usually in the webinars, we come up with a lot of interesting riddles, and we want that all should answer this.
Great. So let's guess the word and let's see who answers, who answers correct. Okay. It can be a random guess, guys. If you even do not know, just throw it. Just throw the answers and let's see if you're right or not. Okay. So Diksha, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome. Okay. So here's the first question for everyone. The process of examining a candidate background and the qualification. What do we call it? The process of examining a candidate background and qualification. And yeah, so we have 9 letters here. So what do you think, guys? What is that? Screening. Okay, guys who are saying, how many of you think it's a screening? Okay, so people who are saying background check, guys, please, this is 9 letters. It can be 9 letters only. Can you just count and tell us like what is that? Is it screening? Okay, so it's interview. So Diksha, were you thinking the same? Like, were you also thinking about the interview?
Well, I was actually worried about the answers, but I just wanted to know that what our audience will be thinking about it. So the one who answered interview, yes, that's the correct answer.
That's a correct answer. Okay. So the next question. A written summary of a job seeker's employment history and resume. And the hint is that it is just 6 letters. I think it's quite easy, everyone, isn't it? How many of you think it's a profile? And how many think it's a resume? Let's see like how many of you answers exact word. Okay, I think there are multiple people saying resume. So yes, the answer is resume. Awesome. Okay, so the next question. A formal assessment of a candidate's potential performance. Okay, what's this? It's just 4 letters? What is this? Okay, I think 1 second. Yeah, oh, okay, I just showed it. I'm sorry, guys. Just this is my mistake, Diksha. I'm so sorry about it. I just clicked on the next button. Okay, so let's go with this one. Qualities or accomplishments that make someone suitable. Qualities or accomplishments that make someone suitable.
So now this is for 14 letters. Let's see who can answer this one.
Skills, no prints, no experience, no. What else? Like 14 letters, guys. Just count the words, count the letters on the fingers. Let's see who wins it. Anyone? No one? Kalaji, do you want to rethink about the answer?
Is someone
Diksha,
saying
are you able to guess?
well, I can say like the answers are hidden in the chat box already.
I think next time I will hide the chat box for you because you are not able to participate. You see the answer in the chat box. Yes, it's qualifications. Okay, so yes, qualifications are the qualities and accomplishments that make someone suitable for the job opportunity. Very nice, guys. The people who answered qualification, very nice. You're right. Okay, so the last one is to interact with others, to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. So guys, why are we here? We are here to interact, right? To interact with me. You guys are interacting with me. You guys are interacting with the people who are in the chat, right? You guys are basically, developing your own professional and social contacts. What is it, everyone? What is it? It is like partying, like a weekend partying? No. Okay. So it's networking. So you know that we always tell this to every student, who come and join this webinars that networking is the key of success. I have given so many examples in the past that how networking works. So you are meeting people in your, you're making friends in your class. You're making friends on LinkedIn. You're making friends even over here in this kind of a forum where we are meeting together and participating, right? So this is also very important. So yes, networking is the key. Okay, so networking is the key to interact with others, to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. So how many of you in the chat, can you just tell me like how many of you think that networking is real important? How many of you? I just need the yes or no. Like how many of you think it's really important for everyone? Yes, I knew it. I knew it. Very nice. Okay. So, Diksha, can I just take this part? Can I just introduce Think Loudly with everyone?
Sure.
I want to introduce in a very different way this time. Guys, always we come and we talk about Think Loudly, right? And many of you aware like what is Think Loudly, because you have been with us for so long now. Hundreds of students who are here today. You guys have always got in touch with Think Loudly to attend learning programs, to get interview preparation sessions. But here we are here today not to talk about why you should choose Think Loudly. We are here to tell you that how how we do at Think Loudly, that people are able to get the success, and how the process is how. Okay, so the first one is all the courses what we have designed, that those are job oriented process courses. Whether you do cybersecurity with us, whether you do DevOps with us, AWS, all the courses are designed in order to make sure that we are not following the old curriculum. We are following the exact thing what is required by the industry. Second, now Think Loudly is not just a learning school. Trust me, it's much bigger than that. It's just because of the people who have made Think Loudly a big. When we joined Think Loudly at first, it was quite small, but now just because of students, just because of experts, Think Loudly is bigger community, and we call it as Think Loudly Tech Community because it is made up of thousands of students and 140 industry experts. Can you imagine 140 experts who have got over 10 years or 8 years of experience? And trust me, there are so many applications we have who wants to become the experts of Think Loudly. They want to be part of tech community because they all want to gain some information from Think Loudly. So how many of you are here who is already part of tech community of Think Loudly? Do we have our students over here who are already part of Think Loudly's tech community? So guys, students who are with Think Loudly, you guys are already in a tech community. So if someone says, "Are you a technology expert?" Say, "Yes, I am a I'm part of tech community of Think Loudly. Yes, I am the expert." Okay. Reminders. I love this part. I love this part. I don't know how many of you love this part or not, but we give regular reminders. Have you seen that whenever the class starts, there's a reminder from the admin? we have hired bunch of admins just to make sure that you guys join on time, because there are back-to-back sessions. If you're joining 10 minutes late, 15 minutes is, there can be a lot of problems you can face. So we have regular reminders for your classes, which I think it's very effective. When we were doing our surveys, we found that it improved overall participation of the audience. So make sure that you are not muting the admin, you're not muting the groups, because those small information, we are trying to limit the notification in the group. Those reminders are quite important to be ready for your next class. Okay, because you guys are on a mission of landing your first job, just like us. Like, we are also on a mission to make sure that most of our students get the job of IT. Then certainly the fourth part, which is like IT certification assistance. Guys, if you want to highlight your resume, certification section is the most important section for any recruiter. I don't know how many of you trust me or not, but whenever recruiter comes to us, they ask for resumes with certifications. So make sure you get bunch of certifications, and win the trust of recruiters. That's very important. Like, if you are able to win the trust of recruiters, I think you will get shortlisted quickly. And that's what ThinkCloudly does by providing certification assistance. Then we have resume building. Let's build the resume which attract recruiters. Okay. More and more resumes, more and more keywords in the resume can really help you to attract recruiter. And that's what ThinkCloudly does. After that, we prepare for the interview until you find the job. Let's prepare. Let's keep preparing. Let's get into multiple courses, programs, build skills, and make sure we are ready for the interview. On job support, can you imagine? I tell everyone, like, we have 96 to 98 clients right now. We are supporting them on job. You don't have to worry about, like, what am I going to do on a job? ThinkCloudly is there. Get in touch with us. We'll support you on job. We'll make sure that you don't lose the job. Okay. And final, free mentorship. Stick to a right path. Let's not just deviate. Like, if you meet someone in the party and he says, hey, I'm doing cybersecurity, so you start doing cybersecurity. When you go to other party, you meet someone and he says, hey, I'm doing Salesforce, and you start doing Salesforce. Don't do that, please. Stick to our mentorship. Get in touch with us. See if you're on the right path or not, because the right mentorship only can help you. Just don't deviate from different path. It has to be very important that you stick to a right path. So this is about ThinkCloudly. I just don't want to waste more time over here. But Diksha, I think I've covered everything, isn't it?
Yes, definitely you have.
Awesome. Okay, over to you, Diksha.
All right, so now I'm truly honored to introduce our guest for today's webinar, our guest, Mr. Buchi, who's a true luminary as a cloud security analyst. So with a wealth of knowledge and experience, his impressive achievement and contribution to the field have earned him a well-deserved reputation. So we are fortunate to have him to share his insights and valuable perspectives. So everyone, please welcome Mr. Buchi.
Hey, hi, Buji.
Hi,
Welcome to
everyone.
the session.
Hi, good
Thank you
morning.
so much, for coming here and, coming and, like, first of all, congratulations that you got the job, right?
No problem. Thank you so much, Naren.
Thank you so much. Do you want to turn on your camera?
Yeah. I'm not able to see where I could. Okay, I
Just
could
give me
see.
1 second. Let me just make you panelist. Like, let me know if you
All right.
see an option to become a panelist. Do you see that? Are you able to? Okay, I think Buchi is okay. Buchi can share. Turn on his camera
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Just give me 1 minute. Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you.
Alright.
I'm just waiting to
Right.
see you.
You said it says the host has stopped it, so I can't share my camera. You
Just
might
a
wanna.
moment. Just a moment. I don't see. Okay. Is it not letting you turn on the camera?
No, it said you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Just
Okay.
1 second. Oh, this is okay. It's okay. I think we can go ahead.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. We could go ahead. But if anyone wants to see my face, I could turn on my
okay.
camera and
Yeah.
show
I
my
think it's
face.
coming up now, isn't it?
Yes, I could see that now.
It came up. It came up. Yeah. And I think that yeah.
Oh,
Okay. We can see it,
it's
but it's
it's
okay. Yeah. We can see it.
is it clear or
Not very clear, but yeah,
no?
we can manage.
Not clear. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, we can
But
see it now.
you
Yeah,
can
we
you
can
can
see it
see me
now.
now. It's probably my signal. I'm on the road. So my name is Bucci.
Okay.
I'll just cover. Let me just I don't like the way I'm seeing my camera, but anyone that doesn't see me, this is me. My name is Bucci Wankor. I am a cloud security analyst, a senior cloud security analyst. I I started the first day I ever heard about ThinkCloudly was in 2020. That was 2 years ago. And I reached out to Naman, and it was just a regular day, like you guys reached out to him. I reached out to Naman. Naman, um I have a flair to be in a cybersecurity space, a cloud security space. And he told me, Bucci, don't worry about it. We're going to help you. The only thing we need you to do is to be serious about it, right? So the first thing I'm going to say is that for you to, yeah, I'm Ebo, yeah. For you to make this work, you have to be serious about it, right? You have to be ready to put in the work. So ThinkCloudly gives you the stepping stool to get to where you are. But if you're not ready to put in that work, um, you're not gonna get there. When I say they give you the stepping stone, the reminders that Naman talked about, they remind you morning, every night you have a class. You have to register for your classes. You have to come in on time. So the first class I ever registered was for the Azure Cloud Security certification. I took that certification. I passed it. They helped me with the certification. I passed it. And interview preparation for my resume, I was able to secure my first job, right? So the good part about it is that I secured 3 jobs at the same time with my first try with ThinkCloud. So it's not something that happens overnight. This takes about 5 months of constant work, constant practice. And ThinkCloud are always there for you if you have any questions, right? So I got 3 jobs, 3 job offers at the same time, but I couldn't do 3 jobs. So I picked the one that paid the most, and that was my first 6 figure I ever got. And I reached out to Nam and I told him, "Oh, Gucci got a job," and he was like, "No problem, no problem." So it didn't end there, right? I kept on doing multiple certifications. This is probably the third certification I'm doing with ThinkCloudly. I'll text. I just told Naman a lot. He's probably tired of me. I message him in the morning, at night. Naman, I need to do this, and he introduced me to Mukesh. I don't know if Mukesh is on this call. I wanted to give a big shout out to Mukesh. Mukesh is one of the instructors that taught me my security certification. So I reached out to Naman about 2 months ago, and I told him, Naman, I already know cybersecurity Azure. I want to go into AWS because I have the need to know AWS security. And he said, no problem. He reached out to Naman, to Mukesh again, and Mukesh assisted me with 8 weeks training, right? Speaking to you right now, I got a job. I reached out to Naman last week to tell him I got a job, double the pay I had before. And so whatever you see they're doing here is 100%. I'm a testimony of whatever they're doing here, right? If you're looking for who was able to do this, I was able to do it, right? But the only thing that's going to make you make this work is if you're ready to do it. What certification did you take for cloud? I have the Azure Security Engineer and AWS Security Specialty, and I also have the CISM. Yes, yeah, CISM, yeah. So that's a
Great.
Certified Information Security Manager. Yeah, I'm Nigerian. I'm from Abia State.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm just answering questions from the comments.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so
No
so
worries.
that
Thank you,
that
Gucci, for
that
picking it up directly.
no problem. So that's what I've been doing. And as time goes on, I have a plan to go further into security. Like I told Nama my goal is to get to that architectural part of security. And I know it's been from where I moved, from when I sent a message to Nama 2 years ago to where I am today. I've gone from being a novice in cloud security, being a senior security analyst for a very huge company. I'm probably not going to say the name of my company right here, but if you want to know it, you can reach out to me and I'll tell you. But I've gone from a novice to where I am today. So it's not a joke, right? But the only thing that's going to make this work, I keep repeating it, the only thing you have to be serious about it, right? No matter how much they help you, if you're not serious about it, you can't get it. When I mean serious, once they remind you about your classes, you need to attend your classes, you need to take your certifications, you need to do everything, everything they ask you to do, right? Whatever they ask you to do, you could do it. You have to do it because they have the steps to take you to that place. So if you miss any step they have, you probably will not get there, right? So if you follow step by step process that they give to you, you're gonna get it. It's just a matter of time. It's not something that happens overnight. When I met Naman, Naman told me he gives me a 6 month. They give you a realistic time frame, right? It's not going to happen in 1 month. It's not going to happen in 2 months, except you already have the experience, right? For you that don't have no experience, you should give yourself a realistic time frame. And that was the first thing I learned on my first day. Realistic time frame. I gave myself 6 months. I'm going to give myself 6 months to complete training, the course, and apply for a job. And that's what I did.
Yeah,
So
thank you
Naman,
so
I
much,
think,
Ruchi. It's really inspiring. It's not just inspiring for the audience, but it is at the same
yeah,
time it's inspiring for me because keeping the self motivation is very important.
yeah,
Whatever job you do, that's very important. But listening to your story, and always talking to you, and 1 week ago when you shared that you got the job, I was like, okay, the next guest, I found the next guest. Uh, so the
yeah,
best thing, Gucci, is that you told that we have to be realistic with the time. I think that is the key here. People who wants to land the job within 1 month, I mean, it's a total transformation of your career. You cannot just get it into 1 month. You just have to spend some time. And yes, follow the right mentorship. That's quite important. Not just
yeah,
me, probably not just me, but anyone like at Think Loudly, you are in touch. Make sure you are following one person and making sure you are taking the right approach and get there. And Buchi, I think you're a real proof in front of all
yeah.
us.
Yeah,
Uh,
the right like Naman said, the right mentorship. There, you have to reach out to mentorship. Like I went into cybersecurity, right? So, and Mukesh was someone that knew so much about security, Azure, AWS, right? So
yeah.
even after my classes was done, I still kept on reaching out to him regularly. How do I do this? Can you show me how to do it? Even after I got the job, right? He was able to assist me with questions I didn't know how to answer, right?
Correct.
How was I able to do this? How was I able to, he had helped me a lot. So that was really good. That was really good for me.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Buchi, for coming. And like, would you mind if you can just tell our students a little bit about your interview process? That how many interviews have you gone through, and what was there a time where you felt like, okay, I have gone for so many interviews, but I'm not getting it, and there was a time of demotivation. So was it there, and
Yeah, yeah,
how did
yeah.
you
So
pass that
the
time?
the process is very stressful, right? But it's worth it, right? But the good part about interview, for every interview you don't get, you learn a lesson for the next one, right? So if you attend an interview today and you don't get it, you're gonna learn something for the next one. So I had about when I got 3 jobs, I had about applications. I applied to about 20 applications, right? They're going to show you how to apply for jobs, the right things to do, the right things to put on your resume. That's if you are opting to get that part. So I applied for about 20 jobs. I got about 5 interviews, right? I had those 5 interviews and I got 3 offers, right?
Oh.
And the reason why I got 3 offers is because I decided to pick the one that pays the most. We are worried about money. So the process was I had about 2, 3 steps of interview, right? The first interview you're gonna get, it's not bad, but you're probably not gonna get the first job interview you're gonna get, right? Because that's gonna show you what you need to know, right? Exactly what you need to know. If it's in security, you need to know the everything they're gonna teach you about security, the step process. So I did the first stage of interview. It was good. I did the second stage. And with security, right, it's easier because you don't have a lot of interviews. You have at most three levels of interviews, right? So I did the first step, I did the second step, and the third step was when they gave me the offer.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. But you will always learn for you. If you do an interview today and you don't get it, that's a blessing because you know everything that's going to ask you for the next one, right? Like Naman said in the beginning, you make sure you focus on one part. Today you're a cybersecurity, tomorrow you cannot be infrastructure, right? You have to focus on one part. Because if you keep doing cybersecurity interviews, you keep knowing what questions are going to come out because they keep asking you the same questions. It's nothing different, right? If you apply for an Azure security engineer certification today or for a job, right? They're still going to ask you the same question they're asking you the next job. It's the same. So it's nothing different. You just need to keep improving yourself and learning.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Buchi. And Buchi, I mean, I'm not sure. You can just give us the range. Like, what's the salary someone can expect on a role
Uh,
like you are on? Like, what's the salary someone can expect? You are the real example. You don't have to tell
yeah, for
exact
no,
amount, but
no, for
you can.
I could tell you it's not a problem. For my
Yeah.
first
Okay.
job, I got from them and I had $105,000 a year. That was what they paid me for my first job.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that was the first one. But the one I got last week, I'm not gonna say it. If I say it, it'll probably drop off. Yeah, I got 105K. I think that was 50
That's a
dollars
good
an hour.
start. That's a
Yeah,
good start. That's certainly
yeah,
a good start.
that was my first security job, right? That was my
Okay.
first security job when I got 105. That was very okay for me. But right now I got the last position I got a senior role last week, and it's around the range from 130 to 150. That's what I'll
Wow.
say.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Buchi, that's not enough, isn't it?
It says that's not enough. I know it's not enough, but let me go in and see what they have to offer first.
Awesome, awesome, great, great. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Gucci, for coming up. We have limited time, otherwise we would have kept listening to you, listening to your
no
story.
problem.
It's always
No problem.
inspiring.
I'm gonna share my LinkedIn with Naman in case anyone wants
Yeah,
it,
yeah, you guys
and
can link. Yeah. you-
you could reach out to me, ask questions, whatever you need
Yes,
to know.
no worries. Thank you, Bucci. Thank you so much. We have a less time, otherwise we would have chatted a bit
No
more.
problem.
Thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you so much,
appreciate
Naman.
it. Thank
All
you.
right, bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Bucci. Okay, so guys, I think we all heard Bucci and his story. I hope most of you or some of you might be little inspired and got the fuel for your work, what you're doing. So how many of you feel inspired, motivated, and ready, from to basically get your first job? And I don't think so that $105,000 is less. Is it less, everyone, or is it good? I think it's good. Yeah. So yes. So congratulations, Buchi. There are so many people who are saying congratulations to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay. So guys, this is something what we need to what always we find it that ever walk into an interview and feeling like you are missing a piece. A lot of times whenever we get into an interview, right, we always think that let's get into something where something is like something is missing when I'm stepping into an interview, but I'm not able to answer everything. So does it happen anytime with any one of you that you felt that you are not ready, or there is something missing? I should have more prepared. Did anyone felt ever like you are not ready or you're not prepared? Anyone? Okay, great. So what is exactly missing? So so the thing what we basically found that there is a requirement of proper research. Okay. And you need to basically solve that with the help of multi skills. And that is what students who have succeeded they have done. Or you can see an example of Bucci that first he did like his cybersecurity, then he thought that that's not something what is enough. So what he said, okay, let me combine it with cloud security. Okay, and then when he got his first job, he got like 1,001 1,005 $105,000. I think that's not small amount if it's your first job in IT, right? So why I'm telling you about combining skills, it's to make sure that recruiters out there, they are looking for multi-skills people. They are not looking for just one skill. If you would have met me probably 3 years ago, I would have said, okay, go for cybersecurity, get a job. If you would have met me earlier, like 2 years ago, and you would have said, oh, Naman, can I get a job with Scrum Master? I would have said yes. But now you have to combine Scrum Master with project management. Okay. Or you have to combine project management with business analyst, right? Why this is happening? Because industry is making a move. So I'm not sure how many of you have heard that, US is laying off a lot of people. Organizations are laying off a lot of people. It's not just happening in IT sector. It's happening everywhere. The people are getting laid off. But people who are able to, you know, have multi skills, they are still able to survive. They're still able to give a value to the organization. And that's why multi-skills solve that problem, but that happens over the period of time. Probably building multi-skills can take up to 3 months of time, okay? Or probably 2 months of time. But proper research about the job, for the interview, that is something can take only probably 2 hours of time. And if you do proper research, trust me, it can take, it can basically help you at least 60%. It can solve your 60% problem of passing the interview. That is what we will learn in this session today. Okay, that what should be my research when I'm stepping into an interview? What should I do? So if anyone who is here today, if you can just keep a pen and paper, I think that would be really helpful. If you guys can arrange a pen and paper, because when we are going through this session, we need to note down some of the important steps. Okay, we have, when we created this slide, what you are seeing in front of us here right now on the screen, we did our research, and based on the research and consultation with a lot of students, we created this slide. So whatever parts we're going to learn today, that's going to be very helpful. So make sure everyone that your pen and paper is ready. So how many of you have your pen and paper nearby? Do we have anyone in the audience where you guys have your pen and paper ready? Awesome, guys, because this session is going to be very helpful. Mark my word, and you will thank me later. I promise you. Okay. So now what we are trying to understand over here, that let's imagine that I have my interview after 2 days. Okay. I need to do a proper research. Okay. Because I know that if I do my proper research in a right way, it can boost my chances of finding my job. It can boost my chances by 60%. Okay. Mark my word, 60% is the number. Okay. So now let's look at it. So now, first of all, you have to do some research about the company. Okay. When I say company, it is nothing but the organization you're applying for job. Let's say you have applied for Bank of America. You want to get a job as cybersecurity in Bank of America. Okay. Now you have to do a research of Bank of America, that which set of tools Bank of America is using. This is for cybersecurity people, but probably for cloud jobs. Okay. For cloud jobs, which cloud Bank of America is using. Okay. So that's quite an important research, what you can easily do. If you are going for an organization which is quite a popular organization, you can certainly do that kind of a research. Now, let's say one of the student at Think Loudly had an interview with Apple. This is a real scenario I'm telling you. And he was going through for an interview of cloud. So he did a research that Apple data is actually on AWS cloud. So now he forgot about Azure skills. He forgot about everything. He tried that within 2 days, he can basically build as much information as he can about AWS. He dedicated his 2 days for AWS, and that's why he's working in Apple today. I cannot take the name over here. Probably he is in the audience, but he got the job with Apple, and he's working on AWS cloud. Can you imagine? Apple has its own cloud, but Apple servers are in AWS. Okay, so we need to do a proper research, okay, about company. If the company is small or mid-size, make sure that you do a proper research of the company, like what products company has, okay, and read about the founders and details about the company, okay, and the services what company offers. Sometimes hiring manager can ask you that, tell me about the company. That question is very rare, but it can happen. So make sure that you are reading about the company as well. That's the number one. Number two, you know what? I'm not sure how many of you have seen that whenever you receive the calendar invite of the interview, okay, let's say that a recruiter is setting up your technical round. Okay. So Does anyone in the audience, have you ever received any calendar invite from the recruiter of your technical round? Do we have anyone here who has received the technical round calendar invite in your email? Yes. Sometimes in that invite, they mention the name of the interviewer. Okay. This is a very important tip, everyone. Whenever you see the name of the interviewer, okay, go and research about him on LinkedIn. Okay. Make sure that you are basically researching his profile. Like, what are the important things? What about the important skills he knows? Okay. So make sure that you do proper research, because if you do proper research, you will be able to understand and create a perception that can help you. You can prepare accordingly. Okay. So I'm not sure how many of you have seen, is there anyone who has seen the name of the interviewer in the email? Have you ever seen the name of the interviewer? Yeah. So go and do the research about him. Do the background research about him. Because if he is good with AWS, trust me, he will assess you with AWS. He will not ask you questions on Azure. That cannot happen. Right? If he's good with Burp Suite, he's going to ask you questions on Burp Suite. So make sure that you do a proper research on him, but make sure that you do it. You need to be really hidden. You cannot do it so openly. Okay, it can be offensive sometimes. So make sure if you do some research, do it properly and make it hidden. Okay. Go to Glassdoor, read about company reviews, go to interviews, read about employee perspectives. I'm going to show you this on Glassdoor that how to do that, but this is very important. So the first important thing for all of you is that you're going to do a research on the company. Okay. Second, you will do the research on the interviewer's profile if you are able to figure out what's his name. Okay. And third, you are going to basically read about the organization on Glassdoor. You're going to read about the interview experience on the Glassdoor, which I'm going to show you right now after some time. And you're going to see like what other employees think about that company. So how many of you is going to do this? How many of you are going to follow this? Are you going to follow this, everyone? Awesome. Great. Okay. Now, there are some important things what you need to know. See, right now, there are two parts. Divide the entire part into two times. Okay. Before you actually get into any interview, right? Divide the entire process into two parts. See, this is your learning process. If you are attending the program with Think Loudly, this is your learning process where you have to focus on the curriculum of your subject. Let's say you are going through cybersecurity, or you are going through cloud. So you probably going to project management or Scrum Master, whichever profile you are going through with us as a student. Focus on the curriculum, focus on the learning process, focus on the practical part, and get as much exposure on it. Don't focus only on one thing. Let's say if someone says, just focus on Lambda of AWS, or just focus on Wireshark networking tool, don't focus on other tools, don't do that. When you are attending a learning program, keep yourself open to learn everything. That's number one. Number two, the number two process is, whenever your interview is scheduled, now you have to narrow down your learning, because you have only probably 5 days for your interview. Okay. You have to narrow down your learning process. Now you cannot be open. Are you getting my point? So this is probably a time of 3 months. You are attending a program of 3 months, and you have to be very open. You have to be open that I'll be learning hundreds of things. But whenever your interview is scheduled for next 5 days, until you're going for the technical round, for next 5 days, you have to narrow down and you have to focus only on those tools which are mentioned in the job requirements and responsibilities, which is job description. Okay. So 5 days should be focused on the job description. Some of the things you might not have learned during the learning process. That's okay. You can do some research on Google, find some documents, read about it. That's okay. Okay. Because in the learning process, you cannot learn everything, and JD can expect anything, right? So make sure that your entire process from today to land a job is divided into two parts. One is going to be 3 months of learning process, and second, probably 3 or 5 days of your interview, so that you can narrow down a bit and can understand it. Does that make sense, everyone? Can we divide into two parts? Are you enjoying the session till here? Everyone who is here, are you able to note down something important? Awesome. Okay. Don't make a mistake that you are when you are in the process, right? So we are going to divide into two parts. One is learning process, which is for 3 months. You're attending the program with us. And the second is interview process, probably 3 or 5 days until you get into an interview. In these 3 or 5 days, your learning has to be scoped as per job responsibilities. Okay. After that, prepare to discuss how do you add value to the organization. This is something what you have to prepare, that what you are going to bring to the table. Okay. When you're talking to someone, right? Or when you're talking to a hiring manager or probably director of the company or VP, right? Tell them that I have multiple skills. I know about cybersecurity. I know about cloud security. I have multi skills. You can, as an employee, you can add the value to any organization if you are someone who possess multi skills. Okay. So make sure that you will be, when you talk about that, how will you add the value? Don't say that I'm going to work 12 hours a day. No one cares about it. If you say I'm going to work 15 hours a day, just give me one job of IT. No one will give you that. But if you say that in one salary, you are going to get two different skills with the same person, probably they will be interested to hire you. So make sure you are going to add the value to the organization by showcasing your multi skills. Okay. So that's number 2. Upskill on mentioned technologies and tools. So whatever responsibilities are mentioned, make sure within 5 days, 3 or 4 days, you are able to upskill yourself within the mentioned technologies and tools. Okay. And prepare how your experience matches to the job requirements. See, let's imagine that there are 5 tools which are mentioned in the JD. You are aware of 3 tools, but you're not aware of last 4 tools. Last 2 tools, you're not aware. You do not know these different tools. Now you have 2 tasks. Within these 5 days, until you get into a technical round, within these 5 days, first you need to know these tools. You can do some Google, you can talk to the expert and get these 2 tools. And you're going to create a story around it, which displays your experience. See, job description wants you to have a knowledge probably on GitLab, let's imagine, but you do not know what's GitLab. Read on the Google, read the documents, read the blogs, get knowledge on that particular tool, GitLab. Okay. And create a story which showcase your experience and add that in your introduction. So this is what you should do. Make sure that whatever is written in the job description and responsibilities, you have to add those as a story, as an experience in your introduction, which can be impressive. So this is what something you all have to do. So the first one is understand your job requirements and responsibilities. Add the value to the organization by showcasing your multi skills. Okay. Upskill on mentioned technologies and requirements. So whatever is mentioned in your requirements and responsibilities, make sure you are upskilling yourself. And then final step is create the story around it. Why? Why you think story is important? Because story will let you showcase your experience on those tools. So can anyone tell me, why do we need to create a story? In the audience, can you tell me, like, why do we need to create a story? Anyone? To showcase your experience. Absolutely. So even if you are learning one particular service, right? Let's say some of you are going for Azure Active Directory. Okay, let's imagine. Now you know about Azure Active Directory. Try to create a story around it, because that's going to be very helpful. That why have you used Azure Active Directory? Okay, so make sure that, so the process, you have to remember the 4 steps. Number 1, understand job requirements and responsibilities. Add the value to the organization. Upskill yourself in the mentioned technologies and tools in the job description and create the story. These are the 4 steps. So are you sure that you're going to follow it, everyone? Awesome. Now, how to prepare for the interview and visit your interviewer LinkedIn profile. As I said, like you have to visit the interviewer profile. Let's say this is my profile. Don't visit my profile if you want, or you can. So basically what happens over here, you will find somewhere that, okay, Naman is good with AWS and some other skills. Okay, Naman has worked as this. So you will get some idea that Naman, which skills Naman is good with. So interviewer will also have his LinkedIn profile. In IT, LinkedIn profile is very common. I don't see anyone who doesn't have LinkedIn profile. So make sure that you are going to the LinkedIn profile of the interviewer, and based on that, you're creating a perception and then preparing for the job. Second thing, what you can refer is students who are learning with us in the AWS interview questions, right? If you go to our platform, right? I'm not sure how many of you have gone to the platform. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay, so are you able to see here? Are you able to see my screen where I'm showing the dashboard, Think Cloudly dashboard? Are you able to see the dashboard, everyone? Okay. So over here in the, like you can click on the study material. When you click on the study material, right? Over here under the AWS, there is some interview questions. So we have placed some live recordings, what you can go through. And these live recordings, you can, I mean, students who are learning AWS, we got some live recordings, luckily. So you can just go through these live recordings. It can basically tell you like what kind of a questions can be asked. So these are some old recordings, which what are available. You can go through these resources which are available. And you can go to the blog section, read the blogs on cybersecurity management, programming, ServiceNow. So remember that you go to these blogs, you will find tons of blogs on interview questions. Trust me. So go through those and make sure that you practice those interview questions more and more. Okay. And it will really help you to practice interview questions. So over here, if you basically see, here you have 12 tips to pass your exam. Then you have EC2 interview questions. So you can go through some of these resources available on Think Cloudly platform, or probably outside Think Cloudly platform, you can still go through it. Okay. So make sure that you at least go through these recordings which are available, so that you know how the interviewer asks questions. So we have just kept some of the recordings, what we found out from somewhere. So we have just kept it. So please go through those recordings and access those recordings. Okay. Students who are signed up with Think Cloudly, you will be able to access. Yeah. Otherwise, you will find some of the interview questions as I showed you on the platform. Make sure that you're visiting our blog section, reading the quick blogs after your work. It's going to be very helpful. Then, I mean, if in case you want to go through some of the interview experience, there are tons of testimonials which are available on YouTube. Go and access those YouTube testimonials. Hear from our students, like how actually they went through the interview experience. Get some idea. It's not about our students. If in case you have some friends, ask them how was their interview. Okay. And make sure that you get some interview experience from them, and it will be really helpful. Apart from that, there's something called as Glassdoor. Glassdoor is a website. I'm not sure how many of you have accessed it. So let me show you. So on Google, when you type, let's say Glassdoor, type Glassdoor and type the company name, let's say Microsoft, and interview of DevOps. So click on the first link. It's going to give you the complete experience of other people. So this person, like there's some anonymous interview candidate who went through the interview with Microsoft on DevOps engineer role, and he has mentioned his interview experience. You can find many experiences over here. You can see that, what was asked. So you can refer Glassdoor. There are multiple interview section. You can click on it and you can find their experiences. Trust me, going through the experiences of other candidates can be helpful, because every organization has their own methods of taking the interview, and that can give you a shortcut. Sometimes there are some most frequently asked questions what you can find on such portals, and it can be very helpful. So make sure that, let's say if you have your interview with Apple, okay? So mention the company name over here, go to Glassdoor, the first link, and over here, just a moment, I need to continue. Okay, so you can just go through this. I'm not logged in over here, but you can go through it and you will find tons of resources available on Glassdoor itself. At least you will get an idea that how you are going to get the interview process done. Okay, sometimes there are 3 rounds of interviews, sometimes there are 2 rounds of interviews, but all that information you can easily find on Glassdoor or organizations like Glassdoors, which are going to give you real interview experience or probably most frequently asked questions. Okay, so everyone who is here today, whether you are going for cybersecurity, for cloud security, for project management, for Scrum Master, for any interview you're going through, make sure that you are going through some of the resources which are available on the internet or Think Loudly. You can reach out to us, to admin, to anyone. We can prepare you for the interview. We provide mock interviews. We will prepare you for it, because preparation of the interview is quite important. Students who have attended in the past, they have already gotten it. Now, the next thing is, which is very important for everyone, how many of you think that I'm not getting time because I have a family? My company makes me work for 10+ hours. I'm working already for a job. How many of you think that I'm not getting time to study? Anyone who thinks that I'm not getting time to study because I'm working in a warehouse, I'm working in Amazon warehouse or logistics, and I'm not getting enough time to work or probably study. Only 4 people. What about others? Only 5 people. What about others? Are you getting time? I mean, do you have enough time to go through and practice? See, trust me, one thing that Buchi mentioned one important thing when he was talking about his journey, that you know you everything has to be taken very seriously. Imagine that you are able to dedicate your 3 months or 4 months of time, right, on this program, and after 4 months you find a job and you are working in IT. When you are working from home, when you're not wasting your time in the traffic, right? You just got up from the bed and you open your laptop and start working. See, you have to imagine that if I am going to focus just for 3 months, I am going to make sure that I'm going to take out at least an hour a day. Just spare 1 hour. Don't spare more than that. It has to be a fixed time what you have to spare out to practice. And it really helps in succeeding. I myself have a habit of like taking out 1 hour. That's why I keep myself updated. So make sure that just an hour, because some people, what they do, they basically take out 3 or 4 hours sometimes, and rest of the week they don't take out the time. Don't do that. Meet the consistency. Just spare out an hour every day after your work or before your work. 1 hour is quite enough, because 1 hour is for 4 months is actually 120 hours. Okay. And 120 hours is quite enough. If you're able to dedicate 120 hours, that IT is possible. Trust me. Because within 120 hours, you can practice, you can learn, you can apply jobs, everything you can do in 120 hours. 120 hours is quite enough to prepare, practice, and land your job. So whosoever is here in the audience, I see only one thing missing from everyone, that you guys are actually bit inconsistent sometimes, that you have your family, you have your newborn, you have your work, which is actually making impossible for you to focus, right? So make sure that just sparing out an hour for 4 months, which is 120 hours, can land you a job. This we have tested with so many students. Okay. So guys, will you be sparing out an hour every day? It Apart from your training, will you be able to spare out an hour every day for practicing? Trust me. Only one thing is that Buchi has secured a job. It's not just because of Think Loudly. It's because of him that he could able to spare out an hour, and that actually made him found a job. So make sure that just 1 hour, set up reminders in your phone, and set a time and then do it. Trust me, 120 hours is quite enough to land your job. Okay. Okay. So one thing which we found very interesting from a lot of students. So we did a survey with all the students who have completed the program with Think Loudly. We did a small survey among students who have found the job. So let me ask you this. What do you think? What percentage of candidates feel that mock interview is must-have experience before giving the actual interview? How many of you think that this is true? That mock interview is very important before your interview? Or do you think it's a waste of time? So I think surveys are always right. So as per our survey, what we found that 92% of 100 students who have landed the job very recently, they basically found mock interview to be very important, because mock interview gives you an experience that what are the most frequently asked questions, and accordingly, you can go out and prepare and face the interview. Okay, this is very important number, everyone. So mock interview is quite important. Now, how do you do mock interview? Do it with prepare a question list, give it to your wife, let her ask you questions. Okay, uh find a friend, give it to him, and let him be the interviewer. Come to us, let's prepare with us with one of our expert. So there are different ways that mock interview helps you to be ready for it. Okay, this is very interesting questions. Question: a recent Think Loudly student just secured an amazing job. Okay, very recently, just 2 days ago, there's a guy who got a job. Can you guess his impressive salary? Like how much was he able to get? Which is a very genuine salary, like which is very common on an average salary. So what do you think? What's that number that he could able to get the job? He got the job in cybersecurity. So what's the number? Okay. So he got the job for 132,460 USD. This is a number what he could able to secure a job. And trust me, he had no experience in IT. No experience. And he's working from home. He's saving all the fuel money, gas money. Okay. So how to prepare for the mock interviews? Go to basically conduct mock interviews with your peers and mentors. Record yourself to review performance. Try to record yourself, whether you're able to speak it confidently or not, whether you are using the terminologies or not. So make sure that you are doing this a lot. Okay. After that, seek constructive feedback and make improvements. See, if someone is saying you that you are wrong, don't take it to the heart. Improvise it. Consider it as a constructive feedback, because that's going to be very helpful. There are some pre-interview tips for everyone. Do your proper research that we already talked about, and create your notes. While we are also providing you notes, most of you get notes from Think Cloudly, right? On AWS cybersecurity, GRC. But create your own notes whenever you practice yourself, because notes is a quick way of recapping your sessions. Okay. Explore the app you will use. Some of the interviews are happening on different applications. Sometimes you join late. Sometimes you get, you join after 10 minutes. That can be a bad impression. So make sure that your audio and videos are working properly off your laptop before you actually getting into an interview, and explore the app. If it is MS Teams, or if it is such apps, Google Meet or Zoom, make sure that you are aware of those applications, because that makes you more confident. And make sure your audio and video are working, and you join on time. Do not join late. Okay. Just join on time. I think sometimes it screws up everything if you join late. Okay. And job description, just review the job description very well. Whatever is there, make sure you are thorough with it. These are some of the questions, possible questions, which interviewer can ask. Okay. Tell me about yourself. What interests you about this role? Okay. Probably you're coming from a different background, but you're getting into a new role. So what is the interest? Make sure you have your bullet points ready. Okay. Say that clearly. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. If you are talking about something, say it very clearly. Okay. Because it has to be clear. Why are you leaving your previous job? What are your goals in future? Where do you see yourself in upcoming 4 to 5 years? This is very important, because every organization wants to see that I have someone who has vision or not. Why should we hire you? What are your strengths and weaknesses? All these questions, what you see on the screen, right? We have not taken it out from the Google. These are the questions which a recruiter has given to us, that these are the hiring manager, what they are asking these days. So if you want, you can note down all the questions. What interests you about this role? Why are you leaving your previous job? What are your goals in the future? Where do you see yourself in 4 to 5 years? Why should we hire you? When someone asks you why should we hire you, tell them and showcase your skills. And what are your strengths and weaknesses? Make sure that you are very, very clear on that. You should not say your strengths, which can be weakness for the company. Okay. You can always talk about this with any one of us at Think Cloudly. So we can also prepare you for all these questions. Okay. Now, prepare what interviewer wants to hear. When it comes to like introduce yourself, prepare what interviewer wants to hear. Don't think that if you are saying you're right. See, start with certification. If I say, I am Naman, I am certified cloud professional, that will set an right impression. Talk about your projects, that I have worked on 12 different projects. Talk about the numbers. Talk about your projects that you were exposed to some client projects which were having some complexities. Talk about that. Talk about your achievements. Your achievements always comes on the last, because sometimes achievements, it should not start from the top, right? Let's say I got a outstanding award in Deloitte. I should not start with that. I should always start with my certification, my experiences, my projects, and then it followed by my achievements. Because then you sound more modest. You sound that okay, you're not very egoistic, that you're just talking about your achievements. Okay, what matters to an interviewer? Your projects, certifications, and certification and projects and experience. If you're able to have these three things in your introduction, that's the best introduction. So what are the three important things, everyone? Certifications, experiences, and projects. These are three important things what you need to keep in your introduction notes. So when you're talking about yourself, talk about your certification, experiences, and the projects. And yes, if you have some achievements to tell them, but that should come at the last. Does that make sense, everyone? Is it clear, everyone? Awesome. Now, this is again, I want to bring it up. I've already told you guys, but I just want to bring it up so that everyone remembers it. This is something what recruiters have told us. Can you guess what's the most important factor of landing your IT job? Can anyone guess in the audience? Can you guess like what's the most important factor? Okay. Multi-skills. Trust me, everyone, multi-skills. Not just one skill. You have to have multi-skills. Okay. So that's the most important factor. Guys, we have our own Apple application available. Make sure you download that. An Android application also available. You would need the access code. Get the access code from your admins or from your group description on the WhatsApp. But download the iOS app. This is available now. It took us like some time to release our iOS app, but it is active now. Everyone go to App Store, download our iOS app or Think Loudly's Android app. You can refer a friend and you can get $100. If you're a friend, please help this tech community of Think Loudly to grow. We are able to grow just because of your help so far. So refer your friends as much as you can. And in return, we can just do a small thing by providing you $100. So make sure that you are referring your friends and also take your referral bonus. We have the help desk available now. So you can go to the help desk and create your tickets. If you have any problem, go to the help desk, create your tickets. You can just create a ticket, click on this button and create your ticket. It will let you create your ticket. This ticket can basically help you to solve your problem real quick. So we have the help desk section available now. If you have any problem with your training, with your experience, with your resume, with anything, create the help desk ticket. It will really help you. Over to you, Diksha. I'm done with the session. I hope you guys enjoyed the session.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.